Hey, what's up, TierMonster.com? My name is AJ, also known as Mako on the interwebs, and I do SMITE commentaries. But I'm not a pro player. I'm not the best player ever. And after playing a couple games, I decided, you know what, there is a lot I can learn from the pro players. Some of my absolute best games of all time have come from copying builds that I've seen on streams by people like Lassus, Zapman, stuff I've seen in tournaments, stuff I've seen in the ranked live streams, you know, stuff like that. You can learn a lot just by copying a build from someone. And so today I decided to take a look at a build used frequently by Zapman of Team Dignitas. This is his Anhur build, and it is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to share just how awesome this build is with you guys, because it's really good, and it actually made my win-loss ratio a little bit better. And I think a lot of you guys can benefit from this build because it's a very good solid mix of very basic hard-hitting DPS items at the beginning of the game and stuff that still deals a lot of DPS damage but keeps you alive at the end game. And I really like this build. So as you can see here right above my ability bar, I've got all the items that are in this build, and as this game that I recorded progresses, I'm going to discuss each item in detail and explain why it's a good item and why it really works in this build and how I benefited from using it. So as you can see here, the first item that we built in this amazing Zapman DPS build is a pretty stock ninja tabby. Now, the whole ninja boots thing has gone through a major overhaul where you got two branching selections. One will give you more penetration, one will give you more critical damage. Now, I have seen both being picked by Zapman, and really, for me, it's situational. Normally, I like to get the critical damage because you do get extra penetration later on in the game. Plus, there's that synergy with the Deathbringer, which you get an early Deathbringer in this build. It is absolutely fantastic. It deals a ton of critical damage, and just getting that extra little critical with the boots definitely helps, in my humble opinion. The next item is the Executioner. Now, I love this item for a bunch of different reasons. Obviously, it's a great physical power item. You get attack speed, which always good to have attack speed on her. More physical power, that's always great. And then on top of that, you have the passive, which is just perfect with the way this build is set up. As you can see here, we got a lot of really hard-hitting items. We have, you know, the crit tabby, always a good thing to get. We have the Deathbringer as our third item, so that is a really powerful item. That physical power, crit chance, just a fantastic item there. And all these other items, and what the Executioner does, not only does it give you physical power and attack speed, but it also decreases your enemy's physical protection, so it makes all those other items that much more effective. So, in my opinion, that's a much better buy than something like the Devourer's Gloves. Yes, the Devourer's Gloves are a great item, but with this build, it just works a lot better and synergizes a lot better with these items. The next item here we have is the Deathbringer. Again, just a great critical strike and just pure damage item. A great synergy with everything else. A very basic item, but it packs a punch. And if you can get this item, I notice every single time I get this item with this build set, as soon as I get this item, it's like bam, 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 bam. You're just hitting so hard, and you can get so many kills in the mid-game if you're ganking. This is a very aggressive build, I've noticed. There isn't a lot of stuff here for sustain, except for the fourth item here. You don't have anything like a Void Blade or something that's going to give you a little bit of physical protection. No, it's pretty much all damage, which is why this item is so great. Again, synergy gives you more lifesteal, it gives you more health, which is very good, and it doesn't take away from your effectiveness as a DPS. If you just build something like a Leviathan or something just to stay alive, which I've done sometimes, it's not really a good item pick. You know, you're not really getting anything out of it. This doesn't really contribute a ton of physical power, but it keeps you alive at the end of the game when you really need to stay alive and you need some form of either protection or lifesteal. It makes jungling a lot easier. You can just blow through jungle camps, and the extra attack speed again makes everything else you have just that better. So another fantastic item pick. The fifth item pick is the Titan's Bane, and what this does is it gives you extra physical power and physical penetration, and now that you've got all this damage, all these crits, and you can just throw spears like they're freaking bamboo sticks, Now this will let you hit even better, it'll give you even more penetration, and again, with that Executioner, it's gonna deal more damage. And once you've got the Quins on top of that, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it's just, you're pretty much good to go. You will kill, like, freaking Bakasuras in a couple seconds. This has happened to me at the end game. The Bakasura on this team in this game was giving me a really hard time, but as soon as I got the Titan's Bane, you know, all his nice little lifesteal things, all his jungle buffs, couldn't do squat against the item build that I had. And if the game hasn't ended by the time you've got Quinn's Blades, it will in a couple minutes, because Quinn's Blades, at that point, you can just melt tanks. And the DPS characters, you're going to kill those guys in like one hit. Like, if they're low on health, I have killed characters like a Fenrir running away, I leap, I hit him with the spear, and it's like one hit, and they're done. I mean, you were dealing crazy damage before, but you are going to be dealing insane damage once you've got your full item set. And usually, you don't even get to that point. Usually, enemy team either surrenders or you defeat the Minotaur before you get to that point. But this is just salt on the wound. The Quinn's Blade is just salt on the wound. If you're dealing with a competitive team, you're probably going to have a better chance of getting to that point. But in a pub game, you're going to just completely stomp, provided you have some help. This build is really effective in just the regular pubby and regular ranked games. You don't have to be a pro to use this build effectively, but you are going to need someone with you to help you. This build is best when you have a babysitter tank. And what I mean by that is someone like a Guan Yu or an Aphrodite, some support or some tank, who is going to be with you and able to heal you occasionally if they're a healer, able to take damage for you while you deal the bulk of the damage. And I had 2 games with Aphrodites. Those were some of my best games. And you really need that help, because Anhur is a very squishy character. He is the quintessential glass cannon. He deals a ton of amazing damage, but hit him a couple times and he shatters. So that's again why the Soul Eater comes in so handy, and why you need a good tank. I love it when you have a Guan Yu or someone on your team. Guan Yu is such a fantastic character. I love that character so much. Such a great laning partner for Anhur. Another great one is Aphrodite. She's not really a tank, but the extra mana is a huge help, because Anhur, he runs out of mana like crazy. And Aphrodite's ultimate is really good. If she pops your ultimate and you pop your ultimate, you're going to deal a ton of damage soloing out a single target. Usually a DPS that's giving you a hard time. You won't deal any damage. So someone like a Bakasura, let's say, who he's got his Butcher Blades out, he's trying to attack you. Aphrodite pops her ultimate, you pop your ultimate, he's down to like a couple little ticks of health, you jump, you impale him, done. Easy way to take out a DPS carry on the enemy team. And on top of that, you know, if she sticks with you, which admittedly our Aphrodite didn't stick with us this particular game, but if she sticks with you, which has happened to me in a couple games, it's really easy to just completely face roll with this build early on. I had an enemy team that just quit at the 10-minute mark, and that was because of an Aphrodite, me using the Zapman build combo, and I was not doing well before with Anhur until I got this build. So, you know, this build helped me a lot with my Anhur playstyle, and I'm sure it can help you guys as well. If you're looking for a better build or just want to step up your game a bit and get a little bit better in ranked, this build is perfect. And if you want to check out more builds like this, check out pro players on tiermonster.com. Look at the guns that they play the most, look at their most recent builds, copy those, and you may have similar results to this. So go check out tiermonster.com, subscribe to their YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Pro Build Analysis. Peace out, and smite on.